check. Mike, 1, 2, Mike, 1, 2. Hello, how we doing? Good morning. Steak. Is that a blue brim? Is that a blue brim Chicago White Sox hat?
Yes.
And hold on. Do you have all the stickers off of it? Let's fucking go. You got a hat and you took the stickers off of it. That's my fucking dog right there. Hell yeah.
It was an accident.
Was it really?
Yes. I always leave that one sticker up here, but it was getting loose, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, man.
Man, stickers.
Honestly, for this reaction I just got out of you, I'll take it all day. I might take the stickers off the rest of them.
I mean, that's just like saying I'm gonna breathe today. Like, yeah, you should probably do that. Degen, T-Math collab when? Yeah, T-Math not really happy with me. She did unfollow me, which is unfortunate. Although I don't think she's ever really engaged or liked any of my tweets. So her following me didn't mean anything. But just Steak, you picked up a new follower.
I picked up a new follower. Yeah, she unfollowed me. So she unfollowed you to follow me.
This is great. I can't wait till we have a double date with our wives, and this is our conversation. What do you got back there?
It 100% will not be our conversation.
Yeah, I had to give my wife the rundown because I mean she loves this shit. Like she doesn't get, all the way deep in the weeds on Twitter drama or anything, but she likes a little bit of it. And she what do you call it? Doom scrolling. She gets on Twitter before she goes to bed, scrolls through for like 10 or 15 minutes and catches up on everything and loves it. But I had to Steak scam to scammer. Very funny. I had to kind of give her a little bit of like the cliff notes on the situation. And her first response was, you didn't say she wasn't well-spoken.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was kind of funny how she was like stuck on that too. Because I was literally trying to figure out where you said that. I couldn't find it.
Say that. I didn't say anything about her, which was hilarious, but man, she was so hung up on that. It was crazy. And then the tweet with her clip of the Bucs game and the brisket and tagging me and saying it again and like doubling down. I'm like, man, she's really pissed. That was great. It was great entertainment. It was very fun. I enjoyed it. Wow.
I can't believe, and I'm not going to say anything bad about her, but I can't believe she's not smart enough to realize that tagging you in that post could only help you.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Like, don't mistake my kindness for weakness. I took the high road. I was being very nice. I know some people were not happy with me. I got a lot of DMs saying I was being too nice. And of course, some people were like, "Oh, you're gonna simp now?" No, I'm gonna be an adult. I'm gonna be mature. I'm 38 years old. I'm not beefing with people on Twitter. I'm not bashing down Taylor Mathis, and I genuinely am not a hater of hers. I've said this many times, but I will also keep it 100 with you. When people said I got bodied, I thought it was the funniest, like the dumbest thing ever.
Nobody said that. We just like to make fun of you.
Well, Hank, my favorite troll, did, and then
he's a troll. He'll say you got bodied.
Oh, I know, but he'll also keep it real. And I wasn't sure. I think some people actually thought I got bodied, and I'm like, I will tell you this: as nice as I'm being to Taylor, her response could not have been worse. And I thought she was
this I can get behind.
Only person who bodied you was yeah, exactly. Dude, Steak was great. And that's why also Beav is so fucking idiot. This guy's got shit for brains too. He's like, oh, bad day to be Degen stock. I'm like, maybe you shouldn't play the market because that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This is a great day. So I lost Taylor Mathis as a Twitter follower, but I think I gained a couple hundred and I got some hilarious DMs about her. So, but yeah, again, not here to bash anyone down. We're just keeping it real. Not a great response from Taylor Mathis, but she did hit her Bucs bet and she bought a full point. So, the plus EV community was not happy about that. So she got a whole new army on her ass. And then I did find one error in her video and I didn't even point it out because I'm that nice of a guy. Steak, did you watch her video from start to finish? You probably didn't.
I actually did. Yes.
At the very end, she said she was betting on the Bucs in their first game away from Tampa. It was their second game away from Tampa. That's right. Yeah, that's right. It's hard to remember that part. What's up, everybody? How we doing? The picnic picture was insane. Yeah, that's a good one. Let me tell you right now. I tweeted this yesterday. If killing time at a bar was an Olympic sport, I'd be a gold medalist. If trolling me and shitting on me was an Olympic sport, steak would be like, he would make Michael Phelps look like nothing. I don't know what's going on with my camera right now. It's glitching out. I'll have to change the hold on, the 720p. We're going to go to lower definition. Let's see if this works. All right, there I am.
My end, you look fine, but I see that little glitchy thing that's happening.
Yeah. Tailability high, Crabs. That was hilarious. Also, wagertainment. Did kind of love that.
I was gonna say, I kind of feel like she cooked with wagertainment.
I kind of love that. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. Whoa! We got a hype trade level 2 up in this motherfucker. We missed you guys yesterday. Very sorry. Let's get to these sub bangs real quick.
Also, last thing I'll say about it, and we'll close the book. Perfect day for it. Tuesday was the perfect day after. No football, nothing to do. Perfect day for you to start beef with Taylor Mathis. It was honestly perfect.
Degen was sharp on time today. Yep, get her ass, Degen. Very easy video to watch all the way through. Very funny. Steak is a Michael Phelps machine on Degen. Yep, he sure is. Let's give some shout outs real quick. We are back with a bang. Oh my goodness, fucking gracious. We got sub bangs coming in left and right. Sorry to miss you guys yesterday. We're happy to be back. La Barbera starting it out. No, Ian. 228-488. Good morning. Let's have a great day, squad. Would love that. 30 months. Appreciate you, Ian. La Barbera, 32 months. Need a winner to pay for these 32 months. You're in the wrong place for that. Appreciate you. Lane's Locks, first month sub. We appreciate you, Lane. Thank you. Aloha gifted a sub to Graylish Calves. BZ0824, 15 months. Love that. Aloha gifting another sub to Crabs. This fucking guy, Crabs Bets, over here. I don't know how many subs do you think we've given to Book It?
I don't know, but I feel like someone gave Crabs a sub like 3 days ago.
He
just keep gifting subs to people.
Every listen. I like Crabs. I like Book It. I like BTL, but I'm going to keep it real. I'm always going to keep it real. And if I criticize people, it's probably because I like you. Crabs, you cannot have this shtick of going against me, guys, and not being in here supporting with a sub bang.
Well, what do you feel about him having a hat and a mug?
Oh, stop it with the hat and coffee mug. Are you kidding me? That was eons ago. Also, I bought Book It shirts. I got the Marlboro t-shirt. Get out of here with that. I've been subbed to Book It for 40 months. You've probably gifted 100 subs. I've probably gifted 100 subs. Insane, Crabs. If you're in here watching our stream, you can't return the favor with a $6 a month sub bang. Insane.
But enjoy the Taco Bell ad.
What Taco Bell ad?
That's Crab's going to have to watch for not subbing.
Well, he doesn't have to sub anymore because somebody gifted him one. I'm going to take my sub off Book It, and I'm going to ask Chewy for it.
Shut up. No, you're not.
I know I'm not going to do that. Aloha Bets gifted a sub. Boston Sports Dork has been around for a very long time. And let me tell you, I like Boston Sports Dork. You know why? Because he's not a yes man. He's not a yes man, but he's not like too far of being an asshole. He's not a no man. Yeah. He's not a yes man. He's not a no man. I like that a lot. Boston Sports Dork now giving out 5 sub bangs. We love to see that. Dave Martinez burner. I love watching Degen argue with idiots on Twitter. Thank you. I enjoy doing it. It is something I have a good time with, but you got to be careful. Okay. There's a lot of wackos and nut jobs out there. I'm not trying to have conversations with everybody. You know what I mean? Bob and weave. But Judge back in 50. Oh yeah. I don't know if you saw this. It's actually hilarious. Sweat. Crabs has under Aaron Judge home runs in a season-long prize picks. Yes. And everything hit, and he needs Judge to go under 49.5. And Judge was out.
Poetic.
What?
That's poetic.
Yeah, Judge was out for like 40 and 20 or 30 games, and he's still going to go over.
But wait, what is Judge at?
I don't know. I haven't been following baseball at all. It's actually funny. When I'm listening to VSiN, I sometimes I don't always listen to it live. I listen to the recorded like podcast version. And when they talk about baseball, I find myself like fast forwarding from time to time. He's going yard today. Yeah. He's at 48. So he needs 2 more.
What a sweat. Holy shit.
That's an electric stud. Oh, and nice job going on TikTok, talking fantasy, Crabs. I'm telling you, I mean, yeah, I don't know if you have or have not seen us run TikTok on here, but that is literally all these fucking kids are after on TikTok is asking people who to start in their fantasy football thing. I got a question. I don't understand it. This is what I don't understand about doing things sports related, Steak. And you and I are kind of the same. We've never been these people. We like to form our own opinions, plant our flags, whether we're right or wrong. It doesn't matter. We'll go down with the ship. We'll take in information, like some things will sway us a little bit. You know what I mean? We'll factor in people who actually really know ball. We'll take in their nuggets and stuff like that. Like we're not stubborn, but I think it's fucking crazy to me that people do fantasy football and sports betting, and all they do is just bet what other people bet. or do what other people tell them to do. Isn't that kind of crazy?
It's interesting, but I like hearing opinions. I think they just like hearing opinions too. Like you said it, we'll take nuggets from other people to help us form an opinion. And I think that's like that kid who comes in and he says, should I trade Nico Collins for Brian Thomas Jr.? He's going to ask 20 people that. He's going to go into 10 TikTok lives, ask 10 different guys. He's going to ask all his group chats, and then he's going to take all the opinions and make his own opinion.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's well said. That's well said. By the way, I collected we got a Twitch hype train. It says you've collected all some weird anime shit. I'm just putting them in the chat right now. You see these things? This is what we got. Do people actually like those?
I don't think I'm into it. I don't think any of those are going to be making my list.
You don't like the what about the kitty cat?
No, I don't like the kitty cat. Honestly, those are
turtle.
Those are a little creepy, I think.
I like the turtle. Yeah, weird anime shit. I don't know. I don't really understand. I don't really understand TikTok either, but I'm trying to figure it out. All right. We do have Greg joining us. He's going to be fashionably late. He'll probably be in here at 10:15. I do have to give you guys a bit of a heads up on probably the next week or two. I started very slow this year. Obviously, I was pretty transparent about that. You saw my unit sizes going down to freaking $25 and $50. Shout out to getting unit shamed by Beef. Wish I could mow my yard 5 times a week and have bet $500 units. But I'm starting to pick up. Big day yesterday, and unfortunately, Steak, I think that means that we're probably going to have some board reviews. The scheduling we're going to have to get creative. Yeah. So for example, por ejemplo, next week I have like Thursday and Friday mornings that are looking really tough for me to move. So this is what I'm telling people. You want me to be busy. You want me to make money because we do make, obviously there's revenue that comes from Twitch and the newsletter and stuff like that, but it's not anything that's paying the bills. If I'm not making money and surviving and gambling, it's going to be very hard for me to do the show every day. So that's a good thing. However, there's going to be a bit of a sacrifice. We do have to get creative. So if that means, Steak, I'm just throwing it out there. If that means when we have the time to record a YouTube video of going through the board or talking about the games and stuff like that and publishing it in substitute of a live stream, would people want that?
I would assume or an evening stream.
Exactly. That's my other question. Or an evening stream.
Let me add to your stress. Remember that I'm leaving the 27th to the 1st. So next week we're going to have to figure it out either way. Like if you're busy Friday morning, we should probably hit a Friday evening stream, man.
Well, okay. So yeah, the 25th and 26th are going to be going to be probably tough for me. But then I'm going back. I got to go back to Orlando. The 27th to the 1st, I actually will be open. So I can probably run things. Okay. People are saying they like evening streams. I like recording more than evening stream. Okay. I like evening streams better than YouTube. Yeah. Do what you can, man. Appreciate you. All right. Yeah. Better than nothing. We love evening streams. Okay. Pretty good feedback. Yeah. Any streams are cool. Okay. That's kind of what I'm wondering. You'd prefer a live stream at a different hour than doing a recording. I guess
I think it's because people really like shooting the shit in the chat.
Oh, I mean, I fucking I live to shoot the shit. Shoot the shit.
Greg, I literally don't listen to you sometimes. I just read the chat.
You don't think I know that? You don't think I know that? I see Greg is in the queue, but I don't know if he's ready. Greg, are you ready? Are you figuring out your camera, your mic? You're good to go? All right, let's change it up. I think I like this better. What's up, buddy? Good morning.
What's up? Is this working? Is my mic working? Last time it was wonky.
Tap it. Yep.
Working nice.
That's like a thud. Yep. Okay. All right. Yep. You're not at a strip club. Yeah, no, that's pretty good. But you just look confused. Are you ready?
I get something else going on, but
this fucking guy. This guy.
What happened?
He said he's got something else going on. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready to fucking go. Okay? Elmer Thud. Hold on, I just got to text.
W. Greg appearance.
Yeah, W. Greg appearance. That was Greg's appearance, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for talking ball, Greg. No, in all seriousness, we will be on the Degenerate Hour later on Pickett's YouTube. Make sure you go. We'd love to hang out with you guys tonight. YouTube.com /Pickett Sports. If you're in Twitch, here is the link. It's pinned. Go to it, subscribe to their page. You will get notified whenever we are live. All right. Should we start talking about the board? There he is.
There we go.
All right. You ready to roll? You good to go? You coming in hot? Okay, awesome. I saw Quantitative's POD. I don't know how I feel about it. Did you guys see it? It's the Bills second half -5.5.
Oh, he's been doing those second half things.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that one on Happy Hour.
Yeah, we will. We're gonna talk Dolphins Bills on Happy Hour. We're gonna save it. It would be pointless to talk about the game now and then just repeat ourselves later tonight. But I know I listen to Cover 3. I don't know, Steak. I know you do, Greg. I know you're not as into college, but Chip, the host of the show, he loves third quarter bets. He just assumes like which team is gonna start slow, and he's like, I'm gonna take Tennessee -0.5 in the third quarter or something, and it's like. That's hard for me. I'd totally rather just take it live, and
see how the game plays out. That's a bit strange.
Yeah, we're not live on TikTok. We will we'll do that at another time, just in case anybody was curious. Degen Pickett, thank you. Yep, Greg, we'll have to get your Pickett up there too. Go follow us on Pickett, download Pickett, sync your sports books, and track your wagers. Okay, what's up, Snowman? Greg, looking forward to your write in my email this morning. Prime Bets does like the newsletters. I got to tell you. Go subscribe to them while you're here. Our newsletters are off to a horrendous start, but that's all right. You got to get the blows out of the way early, and that's exactly what we're doing. Okay. Well, we got a packed house in here, guys. Hype Train level 4. We got 125 on Twitch. We got 45 on YouTube. I think we are ready to get this thing moving. If you are on Twitter, sorry, we're going to be a little corp, but you're going to have to come over and watch us on a page where we monetize. Watch an ad, give us a nickel. That's what we like to say. YouTube and Twitch links, you know where to find them. If you don't, I'll tweet them a little bit later. NFL Week 3. I posted a tweet earlier today. Shout out to Mitch Moss, big fan of Follow the Money. It's my favorite show on the weekdays on VSiN. But there was a trend that they pointed out. I tweeted this. A couple of you guys already interacted with it. I don't know how we feel about trends because there's always a time, the NFL evolves. There's always a time where they stop hitting and it's not as easy. It's been the year of the favorites. I think even dating back to like the last year or two. Steak or Greg, you guys shared a tweet about that, I think. Van Zach, a new account that I just came across. He or she is excellent. I think it's a he with some of the data and stuff that they tweet out there. But favorites of 6 points or more. Do you remember this, Steak? They're like 60-7 straight up.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It's a little, map play. Hopefully soon. I think there's one.
I don't think one of those has lost this year.
No. Has a 7-point favorite lost 7 or more point favorite loss this year? No, the Cardinals.
I know Survivor's been as chalky as it's ever been.
Yep. Broncos beat the Titans. Yeah, no, I guess you're right. But this is the tweet that I shared. Teams that start 0-2 are 31-27 straight up and 40-17-1 ATS. Against 1-1 teams since 2010. We have a couple of those. Oops, sorry. I like this better. We have a couple of those that fit the mold. And in general, I just think betting on or getting an eye on 0-2 teams, the desperate teams in week 3 is probably where you want to focus. Now it's a matter of, do we like them in this situation, the matchup, the spread, and everything like that. Sounds like a made up stat. Yeah, very funny. Ain't no way, DMA. It's about to happen. Saints. Oh, Saints against the Seahawks, huh? All right, we'll talk about it. Did Greg just give out 10 sub banks? You sneaky little shit.
That's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, give me a second.
Oh my God, you're so funny how you do that. Well, nice job. 10 sub banks to the community. It's weird. It doesn't show me who got the sub banks. I was going to give everybody a shout out. Bad sign for the Cowboys. Yep, sure is. We'll see about that. All right. I don't have the tabs up, but I'm going to pull them up right now. Steak. You also, by the way, great job on your lean tweets. Those are getting a great reaction. But I'm going to pull that up too for a second and reference those. See if you've changed your mind at all.
Steak, are you doing that for college and NFL or just college?
College and NFL.
Here's his. Look at this shit. This fucking guy is blowing it up. 542 likes, 182 bookmarks. Steak. I can't wait. People are going to come back and shit on you.
That's what when people bookmark that stuff is just to come back and rub your face in it.
Yeah. Steelers money line, Titans, Jags, Commanders, Browns, Bears under. I I agree with you in about half those. So we're going to go through and we're going to talk about it one by one and break it down. All right, everybody open your books to page fucking 82. And let's start with the Eagles hosting the Los Angeles Rams. This is probably the game of the weekend. Feel like it's a pretty good slate of football, but Eagles-Rams, a rematch of an NFC playoff game last year. It was not the NFC championship game, but the Rams, if everybody remembers, you're probably going to hear about it all week if you haven't already. They went into Philadelphia last year. Steak, you and I were watching this game in Atlanta at the Battery. I was shit-faced that night, the night before the national championship game. And it was pretty impressive how well the Rams played in Philadelphia against the Eagles in those conditions. It was snowy as shit, and they took them to the brink. They thought they were dead. They came back. The Rams got some dog. Greg is on the Rams this year. I'm not going to say they're a trendy play, but they're a pick by Chernoff and some others to be the NFC representative in the Super Bowl. And I got no issue with it. I really don't, because I got cute and faded the Rams last year and got burned. McVay's an awesome coach. Stafford's a dog. Injured, old, doesn't really matter. You know how I feel about Puka. He's my offensive player of the year. Devontae Adams had a great game last week. I think he had 100 yards receiving and a touchdown. Kyron Williams is a great running back. I think their offensive line is solid. And then they have this defense that kind of came out of nowhere. And that's playing really, really, really well so far. So they've allowed 9 points at home to the Texans. And then they just won on the road against the Titans. They allowed 14 points, I believe. 19 points. So now back-to-back road games in Philadelphia. Don't know what the weather's going to be like, but it's September. It's probably going to be a nice, crisp day. I don't think the elements are going to be an issue. Total's 44.5. This open 4.5. Money has come in on the Rams. Dare I say, I think it's a duping. And this is a textbook fake sharp play because the Rams are actually sharp. 4.5 to 3. I'm not out here blindly fading steam. I think this is, in a weird way, even though the Eagles just beat the Chiefs, they did not look good doing it. What did Hurts have? 150 yards passing at tops. Their leading receiver was Devontae, 50 yards. Saquon didn't really do anything special, but the defense played really, really well. And their home opener, Steak was there. They didn't cover against the Cowboys. Only scored 3 points in the second half. Cowboys had a chance to make it interesting. So it's not like the Eagles are coming out here in the first 2 games of the season and really that impressive. So I actually think coming into the year, people are much higher on the Rams than they are on the Eagles. I think this is a buy low spot on the Eagles as a 3-point favorite at home against a very, very hyped team with the Los Angeles Rams. I know it's a lot of yapping. I want to set the stage because it's a very big game. Steak, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm not going to fade the Rams just because I'm officially scared at this point. I took the Texans week 1 and I liked the Titans week 2, even though I laid off. I feel like I saved a unit there. But I really did like the Titans last week, just to be completely honest. For me, I think I'm just officially ready to be impressed by this Rams defense. And I'm looking at this game. I do lean the Eagles like you do, Degen, to be completely honest. But really what I lean is the under. This game soared over in the divisional round. 2 same exact teams for the most part with a few differences, but same exact running back, same exact wide receivers, except Devontae Adams, same exact quarterbacks, 44.5. And you're not going to get better weather in Philadelphia. I think it's supposed to be 75 and sunny, which is absolutely fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. And I just haven't seen enough of anything from Jalen Hurts. I mean, I think he has like 100 yards passing in both games and no passing touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. And like I said, really impressed by the Rams defense. They showed up to that Texans game, and like, say what you want about the Texans offensive line and CJ Stroud. They got a nasty defense. So fucking, what do the Rams do? They play a defensive style game against the Texans. Well, who are you playing next? The Philadelphia Eagles, who haven't moved the ball that well this year and are known for their defense and hard-nosed football. So I'm expecting the Rams to show up and play that same type of game. So I really don't love anything on the side, even though I lean Eagles, but I like under 44.5.
I'm with you. If this is a game where I like the favorite, it's not because I like points. I don't like a shootout with the Rams. I actually think I like this Eagles defense a little bit more than the average person. And their offense to me is something that if they get a lead in a game like this, I think they're just going to lean on it. You know, they're not going to try. You want to keep the Rams offense off the field. You don't want to go down and have
and they have the perfect team to do that.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm with you. I like the under. I mean, this could be a 24-20 game and just get there under the hook. I think the 44.5 is a pretty important number to play it. So I know we're not one to like time the market or anything, but that's where I'd get it. If it moved any lower, I probably wouldn't even consider it. But yeah, I lean Eagles, and I agree with you on the under. Greg, anything in this game?
Yeah, I'm trying to pick up Hurts passing stats. I clicked on a Snickers ad by mistake. I hate ESPN. So I'm against the grain with you guys on this, but I don't think I can make this my best bet, because if you're 0-2 on best bets, the dumbest thing you can probably do is fade the reigning Super Bowl champs, right? Oh, God damn, I hate ESPN.
Do you need to restart?
There we go. No, it just, sometimes you click on it and it plays whatever ads on there.
Yes.
So anyway, the reason I was trying to get up Hurts' stats is him having terrible passing stats this year is nothing new. It's the Eagles' new identity. Like, you can look back on what he did last year. Last year was statistically his worst passing season of his career. So I don't think that's an indictment on what he's done this year. I think that's just the Eagles' new identity. And really, if you take away a couple big plays in that championship game, or not championship, divisional round game, I mean, Sack had an 80-yard run, a 60-yard run, and Hurts had a 40-yard run. The Rams are going to be, their main initiative is going to be to stop Sack. And you can't do that, but you can limit him. And if they can do that, I think they win this game, because I don't think I think the reason the Eagles' new identity is run is because they don't win games when Hurts has to pass a lot. So I do think the Rams, after what happened to them last year, after improved defensive front, I think they can come out there and limit it and get in there. The other thing too, so if you look at the line on this, right, it's not fishy, but we were talking about this last night, where in the playoff game last year, it was Eagles -6. It's a pretty big move from last year for a Super Bowl champ. But I think the reason behind that is the Eagles' secondary is much weaker than it was last year. And that's where the Rams are going to thrive. I think Puka can have a big game. I think Devontae Adams can have a couple of big catches. So I do like the Rams to hang around this. And I don't know if they can win, but that 3.5 is, maybe I'm falling for the bait, but that 3.5 is trapping me.
Yeah.
Trapping, I guess I should say.
Yeah. It was 4.5. So the odds makers are giving you 4.5. So you could call it a 1.5 point adjustment. But yeah, I guess you could say the Rams offense improves with subtracting Cooper Kupp but adding Devontae Adams. And then the Eagles secondary getting a little bit weaker. Greg is cooking pretty hard. Interesting. Adoree Jackson is bad. Yeah. This is,
I get problems with it. DJ gets mad at me if I ever.
Do you guys ever have trouble not calling each other real names on stream besides Greg, of course? No, we did, but no, we're more than good now. Here are the Pickett splits.
Real name in 5 years.
Here are the Pickett splits, by the way.
This is fascinating to me. This is fascinating.
It is, but I think it also makes sense, because if you're going to take the Rams, a plus price, is it really worth it when you can get a prime number? Like a full field goal on the road. I like, there are times I think when you say, you look at a road dog and you're like, this team's going to go in there and win. How many times you really feel like that against the Eagles? Like, I think the thought process of this game being tight is a common thought. Mm-hmm. And then you're thinking, oh, well, I can get the points. I think that's why it makes sense to me. But I do agree with you. You don't see this very often.
That side of it makes sense. But if you look at the other side of the coin, everyone thinks the Eagles are winning this. No one thinks they can cover by more than 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's kind of surprising me, is that there's so many people on the Eagles money line. And maybe that's parlays, but still.
Good point. Go ahead, Steak.
I just bet the dollar amount on that Ram spread. Like, the actual dollar amount placed on that is so much higher than Eagles money line, personally.
Okay. Should be a great game. Yeah. In terms of props, I'm likely going to stay out of a lot when it comes to this. I think it's going to be an ugly, low scoring game, but Greg, one thing we know, we are not hot by any means, so there's no reason to go against anyone or stay off. So I feel like you should still go with your gut if you like the Rams.
Yeah, and I would push back that the Eagles haven't looked good all season. That second half in the Dallas game was wonky because of the cancellation. Before that, the Eagles looked unstoppable on offense, and Jalen Carter was out on defense, so you have an excuse there for why the Cowboys would move the ball. And last week they beat the AFC champion. Like, you can't ask for anything better than beating the Chiefs at home. So, I mean, yeah, maybe they haven't looked fantastic, but they came out and they scored on their first 3 drives against the Cowboys, and then they beat the Chiefs at home. How much better do you want a team to look?
Yeah,
well, the first half of that Cowboys game was 21-20.
Yeah, so the Eagles scored on all 3 of their drives.
Yeah, but then Russell Wilson dropped fucking 450 yards passing on the Cowboys, so I think that kind of takes away from it a little bit.
I get what you're saying, but it's also winning the game is one thing. How you win the game is another. Like being dominant in your wins. I think more people are talking about the Chargers than the Eagles, even though the Eagles have started the year beating the Cowboys and the Chiefs on the road. People are talking about the Chargers 1 seed. I heard a guy, Jonathan Von Tobel on VSiN, got him plus 950 to be the 1 seed. They're down to plus 550. Like, there are flashier, sexier teams that people have caught attention to than the Eagles right now because it's been ugly. All right, speaking of ugly, let's go to the next game. Washington at home against the Las Vegas Raiders. So I did not watch a snap of the Raiders game, the Raiders-Chargers, but I heard all about it, and it sounds like Geno Smith was atrocious. This lack of rushing from Ashton Genty does not surprise me one bit. Yeah, in my opinion, I'm sorry, but I don't think it has so much to do with him as it does with that offensive line. This is going to be a bad offensive line. The offense is going to struggle. I like the passing offense of the Raiders more so than anything, because I don't think Geno is as bad as he was last week, and they're going to be trailing. So now they play a Commanders team who's got no Jaden Daniels. I think he's confirmed out. So the line went from 6.5 to 3. You got Marcus Mariota starting. Total's 44. This is a really bad spot. The schedule makers did no favors to the Las Vegas Raiders. Starting the year on the East Coast in New England, coming back home to play a primetime game against a divisional opponent, then going back to the East Coast on a short week. Awful. I am loving the by the bad news spot here with Daniels out and Mariota in with the Commanders. Loving. And I'm wondering if I'm walking into some sort of trap. I also love you've got a rest advantage with the Washington Commanders because they played last Thursday and they got dog walked by the Packers. I think there's something to be said about a team who I do believe is good. I know regression for the Commanders is something people have talked about, and I'm not saying they're going to be wrong. They have a really hard schedule, already getting hit with injuries like every team. But I think you got to be pretty fucking pissed off after you had that performance on primetime against the Packers. And look at how we saw the Detroit Lions respond. Granted, they had a little extra fuel with Ben Johnson coming in. I think you're going to get a really good showing from the Washington Commanders. So I love the Commanders -3. And I'm not sure how I see the game going, whether I like it high scoring or low scoring, but I think Washington can win this game by 10+. Steak, what do you think?
Well, it needs to be mentioned that Jaden Daniels is not ruled out, but I think for the sake of this conversation, we'll assume that he is out. I'm thinking -3 kind of implies that he is out, but it's not official, so let's just mention that. You got to decide with the Raiders, man. You saw them torch the Patriots, and then you saw them look horrendous against the Chargers, and you have to decide which one of those you think is the real Raiders team. And for me, it's somewhere in between. I don't think they're anywhere near as good as they played against the Patriots. I just want to mention that as much as we talk shit about Tua, he had 315 and 2 touchdowns against the Patriots last week without Christian Gonzalez. That's a really bad secondary and a bunch of new pieces on the defense that, like I always say, will eventually be good by week 10. I'm sure this Patriots defense will be significantly better than they are now. But right now, it's a really bad defense that got absolutely torched by Tua and Geno Smith. That's pretty bad. The thing is, man, I think Ashton Genty is the problem, and I'm ready to overreact about that. Some of those pass protection snaps he put on tape are some of the worst you're ever going to see from a running back. Like, he looks like he has no fucking idea what he's doing out there in pass protection. It's not just like, oh, that's a bad rep, but there's a few more good ones you could put on tape. He looked like he doesn't know how to pass protect. And it's not that surprising when you consider the fact that he was pass protecting against San Jose State in Wyoming last year. It's really not that surprising. I think there's some kind of issue going to go down with Ashton Genty, because if he can't do that, you can't have him out there that much. For this, if Mariota starting, I like the Commanders. I kind of like the Commanders either way. I lean towards the Raiders being as bad as they were against the Chargers more than I lean towards the Raiders being as good as they were against the Patriots.
Okay. Greg, coming into the season, did you have an opinion on any of these teams? I can't remember if you were fading the Commanders or if you were buying the Raiders.
I was close to doing both. I ended up doing neither.
Okay. I think that's fine. Same for me. I like the Raiders. I didn't get there with them. And then I almost wanted to buy into the Commanders and fade the regression narrative, but I decided not to. All right. What do you think about this game? It's -3 on FanDuel, -115, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think I can pick a side. And in the Daniels stuff, as you're saying, he's out. Somebody said he's officially playing. So I think that's
definitely not officially playing.
Yeah, but he's not officially out either.
No.
You're not going to know until Sunday. My look at it would be the over. I think the Raiders are coming off an abysmal offensive performance. The Chargers defense might be a lot better than everyone expected. I think they're going to be able to put up points against the Commanders. And I think regardless of if you have Daniels or Mariota in there, the Commanders are going to be able to put up points. So that would be my look. I can't pick a side here because the Raiders could be that team that when you think they lose, they win. When you think they win, they lose. The Raiders were pretty public on Monday night. Or I shouldn't say public, but you saw a lot of people coming around the Raiders as that one game was.
Yeah.
As the first game, Monday night game was starting to die off, you just kept seeing Raiders.
Quinn said he's practicing Friday at the latest. Normally a good sign. Yeah. Here are the picket splits, by the way, if anybody cares. A little similar to what we saw with the Rams, but not as lopsided. You've got people taking the points with Las Vegas. You've got people taking the money line with Washington. I think that makes sense. More bets and money are on the under in this game. I don't have a strong lean. I'm okay with an overlook. You have to think you're going to get, you're going to get a bounce back with Geno and this offense. You're just, I mean, that's got to be one of his worst games he's played of his career. I saw that stat line. It was unbelievable. And
I know, but I just want to say, you have a fancy new running back that can't pass protect. You have a banged up tight end who is your best receiver.
Yeah.
And then you have a slot receiver as your wide receiver one. And you have Trey Tucker who's shown glimpses. And you have Dante Thornton who has high expectations. But like, what do you really actually have if you're the Raiders offense? I just kind of think it's bad, man.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Because even when they beat the Raiders, I think Geno had 340 passing yards, but they did only score 20 points. So I guess my point there is you got a great Geno game, and that was like the max of what they were able to put up points wise.
I agree with you.
Okay. Yeah, you might be onto something. Speaking of TD scores, I'm going to put my slightest dress on and give Steak googly eyes until he picks me as his running mate one of these weeks. Okay. Let's try to stay on topic, Stacks, for the love of fuck. Not one comment about the actual game of the board. All right.
Stacks is distracted, dude.
He's very distracting today. But he's a good dude. He's always hanging out, and I appreciate him. All right. Here's one I'm really excited to talk about. Jags Texans. What's up, Malcolm? Malcolm. Motherfucker's always late. Jags Texans. So the Houston Texans are a 0-2 team, and the Jags are a 1-1 team. This is what we talked about. This fits that trend. 17-1 ATS dating back to 2010. I like the Texans before I even heard that stat. We're kind of split here. We're a divided household. Steak likes the Jags. Sorry to spoil it for everybody. We'll go around the horn here in a second. But let me tell you my thought process, and this is all football brain. And chat, listen to me. Stop getting distracted. Stop talking about other shit. Let's lock the fuck in for the love of God. What's up, BK? Good to see you. Let me tell you what I saw from each team and why I want to bet against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's start with the Houston Texans first, though. Their offense is a problem. CJ Stroud is a problem. Now, played against the Rams defense and the Bucs defense. I think the Bucs defense overall as a unit was much improved, even with the secondary. But the run game in the defensive front is fantastic. They didn't have success running the ball. Nick Chubb they let him score on purpose. CJ Stroud started the game great. Perfect game script. Nice job by Nick Caley and the offensive coordinator in his home opener. But after that, it was awful. Even when he had time in the pocket, because I know his offensive line is bad, he's down his center, he still made horrible decisions. I don't know what the Texans are doing, but those are not good weapons for any quarterback outside of Nico Collins. I mean, they got nothing for this dude. So I'm not here saying I want to try to time anything on the Houston Texans offense. That is that's a unit I don't like and I don't want to put money on. I love this defense. Love what I saw from this defense. I tweeted this and I had a lot of people comment and say, dude, I was thinking the exact same thing, or I said this to my buddy or whatever. They fucking hit hard. They are violent. They are everywhere. They are legitimately playing like Bounty Gate. Like you're telling them, I'll get you a fucking suitcase full of cash if you take the other player's head off. It's crazy. I mean, everybody in there, from their defensive line to their secondary, that unit against a guy like Trevor Lawrence and a coach like Liam Cohen is what I want to put my money on. The Jags have looked better. They have looked better. Their offense is better. Even their defense is better. But I have to remind myself, they played the fucking Panthers and they played the Bengals. Let me tell you something about the Bengals. And the Bengals with no Joe Burrow for 3/4 of the game. The Bengals are pathetic. They are fucking pathetic. This is a team that goes out there and gets 7 yards of offense against the Cleveland Browns on the road. Should have lost the game. And then they got their dick kicked in. They really did, by the Jags from start to finish. Another game they had no business winning. The Bengals are a 2-0, but have no business being 2-0 type of team. Who had an easier start to the schedule than the Jags? If you, given the circumstances, I know going and playing a healthy Bengals team on the road is not easy with Joe Burrow, but they had Jake Browning for 3 quarters and they blew it. I thought their defense looked better, but I think Trevor Lawrence is a fucking mental midget. He made some awful throws. And now you have Brian Thomas Jr. being a bitch. That's what's happening to the Jags. You got Liam Cohen having to get in there and give a fucking not a rah-rah speech, but I don't know if you guys saw the clip of the locker room at the end. I mean, kudos to him for being a coach. That's what coaches do. But I'm supposed to think that Trevor Lawrence, Alligator Arms, Brian Thomas Jr., and first-year head coach Liam Cohen are going to go out there and beat DeMeco Ryans' coach, nasty Texans defense? I don't think so. I love this under. I love it. I think this game could be 17-14. I'm not kidding. And I like the Texans. Sorry for the long-winded sell job. Steak?
You want to go first, Greg?
Oh, yeah, we'll switch it up. Sorry.
I'll go first because I'm going to piggyback on what a lot of Degen said. I'm with you. I think if you look at the biggest differential between these teams, it's grit. The Texans are just a tough, gritty team on defense, and the Jags don't have anybody like that. So I like the Texans coming in pissed off that they're 0-2. I actually was just looking at Browning's stats when you were chatting. I didn't realize he threw 3 picks. That's insane that he threw 3 picks and you still lost that game.
Insane.
Come on, that's a game you really gotta win. So for me, I think it's the Texans. If anybody needs a bounce back game, it's CJ Stroud. I don't think he's having a bounce back game, but against this Jags pass rush, against this Jags secondary, if he can't do it here, he's never going to do it. So I think the Texans can put up enough points, and I think their defense can shut down the Jags. If you see the Bucs are tough. Do you see Trevor Lawrence making a play like Baker did on 4th and 10? No, absolutely not.
Well said.
So I think it can come down to that, and I think the Texans can get out of there with a win and get this season back on the right track. So I'm heavily leaning towards this as my best bet.
Okay. I think you're wrong here, DJ. Browning isn't as bad as you think he is. People keep saying this. Listen, I want to make it very clear. I know Browning isn't that bad. I remember when Browning came in and stepped in for the Bengals and did a fine job. This is going back to what Steak said in the offseason. If you're thinking about the Bengals this year, how much better can Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase be than they were last year? And this is a team that still was 5-9 and won like their last, 4 whatever games of the season.
I think they finished 8-9.
Yeah, they finished 8-9, right? But they were shit. They went on a little bit of a hot streak. I don't think that is like almost the best they can do. Their defense is still the Jags ran 5-6 yards every play on first down. Every pass was easy for Trevor Lawrence. Steak, go ahead.
Well, if I was a guy pitching the Texans, I would only talk about the defense too. I don't blame you for doing that because if I like the Texans, it's the only thing to talk about. Mm-hmm. So I'll start there first. I think you missed an important thing. The Texans' run defense isn't and wasn't very good. Bucky Irving was carving them up. Then Rachaad White came in and started carving them up. So
good point.
I don't even think the defense is flawless. The pass rush was wonderful. Don't get me wrong. Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson are two very, very good ends. And honestly, I would be terrified as a quarterback or an offensive line to go up against those guys. And the secondary is very good. CJ is a dog, and Derek Stingley is one of the best corners in the league. But you take the combination of the fact that the running game isn't bad, it feels like Jacksonville slowly starting to form an identity on the ground with ETN and Tootin, who scored last week. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to score again this week, by the way. I like the Jags, and I actually am going to spin zone you a little bit. Mm-hmm. I like what I've seen from Trevor Lawrence because some of that stuff you're seeing about Brian Thomas is really bad, man. Like, it's really weird stuff. He's not going for balls. He looks scared to get hit. Like, really, really bad from a guy who looked like he could be a top 5 wide receiver this year. So now let me tell you this. If your guy who you have as a top 5 receiver is a complete shell of himself going into the year, aren't you kind of impressed that a guy like Trevor Lawrence can connect on all 5 targets to somebody like Parker Washington, or can throw 150 yards to Diami Brown or find Brenton Strange? Like, I think Trevor Lawrence is honestly doing fairly well in the situation. Some of the interceptions are bad. That Bengals game was wonky, but man, I like a lot more about what I've seen from the Jags so far this year than I like what I've seen from the Texans. I didn't see anything from that Texas offensive line that made me think a week of practice is going to shore this thing up. I think they're in trouble. And I want to mention Josh Hines Allen, who we joke about, and Trayvon Walker, who honestly kind of became a joke because he was drafted over Aiden Hutchinson and plays in Jacksonville. So he's forgotten about. He's been balling. And I don't think it's an easy day for CJ Stroud. And I don't know if there's going to be enough time for plays to develop to Nico Collins. I like the Jags, to be honest.
I got to give you your flowers. That was a great sell job on the Jags going against us. And you bring up some really, really good points. This is why we have to hear it, and we can't all be yes men. Yeah, I was impressed with the Jags defense against the Bengals. They were causing problems. I mean, obviously Jake Browning was able to come back, but they were giving him fits. Now that you mention it, the running game that the Bucs had last week was beyond impressive, and that really is a big reason why they won the game. Like, Baker made some plays, don't get me wrong, but he was doing nothing in the passing game. Yeah. Those runs by Bucky and by Rachaad were the only reason they had a chance to come back and win that game. So you're right. The more I think about it, that run defense for the Texans not being able to stand tall at home. Not a must-have-it spot, but like right now, this is a must-have-it spot. The last thing I'm going to say, this is the only concern I have with hammering the Texans. Does anybody think this line is weird? The Jags minus 1.5?
I think it's really respectful to the Jags for sure.
I think it's really respectful for the Jags. I expected the Texans to be a minus 1.5 point favorite. So fuck me, I'm way off on this one. I don't know. I know Joe Mixon's out, obviously, but I'm trying to think of like the offseason expectations of these teams. If you're saying the Jags are minus 1 point favorite at home, let's say Jacksonville is what, 2 points of home field, if that. Let's just call it. They're saying these teams are a pick 'em on a neutral. Isn't that kind of crazy? I would think that the Texans would be a slight favorite.
It's one of the worst offensive lines you're literally ever going to see.
Who, the Texans?
It is. Yeah. But counterpoint, the offensive line's been terrible since Stroud got there, and they won a playoff game in back-to-back years.
It's true.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. Here are the splits, by the way, in case people want to see them. It does look like bets and money are on the Texans here. Pickett Sharps like the Texans. And I don't know what the opener was. I don't think the line has moved, frankly. You got more love to the under here. I would probably, if the under is square, I still like it. I keep doing that. Sorry. It's one of the worst offenses you'll ever see. Yeah, Texans defense also have to stay on the field too long and often. My concern for the Texans would be the short week after a game like that. That was a very, very tough, physical Tampa Bay team that they just played. And after playing the Rams. So on a short week coming in and playing a divisional opponent, even though I think the Jags are kind of soft, not the best spot for the Texans. But we'll see.
I think that short week is probably worth a half point too.
Fair. Good point. Okay. Another interesting game to talk about. I'm this board. I'm not going to say I love it. I like it, but this is an interesting weekend of NFL football that I'm really looking for.
Backups playing potentially.
I know. Dude, I don't remember when I was younger, like injuries happening this often in football. I mean, it's got to be
early in the year. If you have Jaden, JJ McCarthy, and Joe Burrow, and Justin Fields. I don't know if anyone cares about that, but like this early in the year, I'd never seen that either.
Yeah, it's got to be because people are just getting bigger, faster, stronger. I mean, it's just more and more violent of a sport. What are you going to do? I'm not calling anyone's a bitch, just making sure we're clear on that. All right. Pittsburgh Steelers on the road in New England. -1. -1. The Steelers are -1 in New England. I saw the Steelers on your lean sheet, or your lean tweet, I should say, Steak, RIP lean sheet. And I commented, I said, Steel LOL-ers. It's hard for me to get there, but you know what I feel like? I feel like that's a pro play, if that makes sense. I've said this before in the past. I feel like certain plays are pro plays. It feels uncomfortable to lay a point with the Steelers on the road after what we just saw them do at home against the Seahawks and what this defense has done the first 2 weeks. I mean, they can't stop fucking anyone or anything. So now they're going and playing a New England team that just won a game in Miami that they probably shouldn't have won. It was back and forth. So they got to be riding high a little bit. And their home opener, they lost to the Geno Smith-led Raiders. So you know they're going to be motivated to put on a better show in front of the home fans. Total in this one's 44.5, 45. I thought this was a little bit higher than I expected, but maybe I need to adjust my totals for Steelers games, given that their defense is not stopping anybody. So I don't know what to think about this game. I don't have a whole lot to say, so I won't hog the microphone. Greg, you're a Steelers fan. We'll start with you, and then we'll end it with Steak. Where's your head at against the Patriots?
This is a tough one. If you want to pull the Steelers schedule up, I'm starting to get pretty hyped about them, and we can speak as to why that is.
I'll pull it up right now.
I'm certainly not playing the Steelers this week. I think the game against the Seahawks obviously would have been a lot closer if Caleb Johnson knew what he was doing, returning kicks.
Sure.
Basically gave him a free 7 points and sucked all of the momentum you ever thought you might have had in that game.
Sure.
The Steelers also notoriously, this goes back to probably 10, 15 years. They are terrible in New England. They're terrible. But I mean, that was the Belichick Brady era. They could never beat the Patriots. So I do think Tomlin is pretty fired up about this one because of that situation. But again, this defense just, I don't think you can bet on the Steelers with the way this defense looked. Now, if you pull up their schedule, this is what I was going to get to.
Yeah, I
more
got it.
Long term, they got insanely lucky in this next 4-game stretch, right? So if they win this game against the Patriots, I'm going to be pretty deep, right? Because then you got the Vikings, no JJ in Ireland. You get a bye week. That's when I think the defense gets it together. They did get Derek Harmon back. It sounds like he's going to be playing this week. He was their first-round pick who got hurt in the preseason and cried, and everybody thought he was done for the season.
Yep.
But he's out there practicing this week. That's going to hopefully help them start to stop the run a little bit. But truly, the Steelers, I don't think they're going to make any adjustments that are worth a shit until after that bye. But then you come out of the bye and you get the Browns and you got the Bengals, which is a much easier game now that Burrow's out. It's not crazy to say they could win these 4 games and then they go into Green Bay, or they play Green Bay on a Sunday night, Aaron Rodgers revenge. That's exciting. That's where I'm at right now with the Steelers. I don't want to look too far down because it's going to fall off the rails again. Their schedule gets really tough late. But even if they go 3-1 in this stretch, which is very reasonable, I'm going to be pretty geeked up.
Can't blame you. By the way, real quick, we've got 200 live viewers right now, 140 on Twitch, 60 on YouTube.
And don't get me wrong, McKibben, the defense has been bad. The defense has not been anywhere close to this bad. Like, I can't think of a situation last year where they allowed 30 points back-to-back games.
Yeah, I can't either. And
Justin Fields and Sam Darnold?
Yeah, that's tough.
Well, here's your counterpoint. Patriots fucking – oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're liking the stream and subscribe to the page. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you're following the page. Appreciate you. Yeah, good point about them getting lucky with that schedule. That's pretty interesting. And I didn't know that about Derek Harmon potentially coming back this week. Steak, you're kind of a Steelers guy this season. I don't hate it for what it's worth. I don't hate it. I hated the Aaron Rodgers thing. I cooled off on it significantly. You guys have made pretty good points about it. I'm interested to see how it plays out. Wouldn't totally shock me if they somehow find a way to go 10-7, and keep the freaking just Mike Tomlin doing Mike Tomlin things.
9-8, 10-7. That's
where's your head in this game? Why do you like the Steelers against the Patriots?
Well, to be fair, it's a tough game. I think you can make a point for both sides. Like, you could tell me that the Steelers got gashed up by Justin Fields and Sam Darnold, and then I could tell you that the Patriots got gashed up by Geno Smith and Sam Darnold. So I think it's very similar with these two defenses. They're both playing very, very bad football. I think the Steelers defense is the one with a lot of the names that could be overrated, and I think the Patriots defense is the one with a lot of new pieces that need a little more time together, and also without Christian Gonzalez, which I think he's questionable again this week. I'm not sure if he's playing. He's a huge deal. But I said this on my lean sheet, and I just have this feeling, and it's exactly how I feel about Aaron Rodgers in general lately. I could see them being this zigzag team where they look good, you get on them, you get behind them, and then they lose to the Seahawks, and then they beat the shit out of the Patriots, and you're in on them again. And who'd you say they play next week, Greg?
They could lose to Carson Wentz in Ireland. I mean, dude, Carson Wentz in Ireland. Degen's got that tattoo on his back. That's a big game.
Yeah, they could easily.
Degen, will you do a tattoo reveal for Carson Wentz in Ireland?
Sure.
It's basically your back.
Sure. How about this? I'll bet the Vikings this week if Carson Wentz wins. I'll do a Carson Wentz tattoo reveal.
Deal. Go. And then if Christian Gonzalez isn't playing officially, I will be taking the Steelers money line. And Retro Sticks brought up a really good point. Not saying Greg is wrong; he's right, but he did bring up that what did he say? Sorry, Patriots are bad in Miami. Exactly, yeah. And the Patriots won. And now he's saying Steelers are historically bad at Foxborough. I just kind of think it could be the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Historically terrible.
Yeah, things come around like that.
Brady. I feel like most teams probably are.
I don't have a Carson Wentz tattoo. I have a leprechaun, and it looks like Carson Wentz on my back. So the whole back tatted? Absolutely not. Yeah, I went under anesthesia to get my back tattooed. No, I'm just kidding. It took 3 hours in the middle. The guy doing my back tattoo was like, "Hey man, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go to Wendy's. Do you want anything?" And that's
how you know it's a good artist.
Yeah, it was awful. It's really bad. My tattoos are bad, but what are you gonna do? No interest in the weekly specials. Aaron Rodgers passing yards leader Sunday. I mean, snacks. But fucking 4 games into the board.
But I got interest for sure. I got interest.
Okay. Yeah. Well, no, I'll always keep the weekly specials in mind for sure. We love the weekly specials. Degen paid $69 for that tat. How old are you?
I will. His name is I will
6969. Yeah.
You're mad that I will 69.
No, do I sound mad? I'm just kept.
How old are you?
Well, I mean, listen, it's like it's okay. 69 jokes. 69 jokes.
27. Okay. You're good, man. You keep making them. All 3 are 20s. Have a good time.
Keep it up. All right. Probably gonna stay off this game and just wish you guys the best. That's what I think I'm gonna do. All right.
I'm staying off this game as well. I get the Patriots under and I get the Steelers over, so I'm more than invested. And as a Steelers fan.
Ooh, look at that. I'm wearing off on everybody.
Those things too, Greg.
Wow.
I mean, this is just a tough game to really pick a side too.
Well, it is 50-50 pretty much. All right, let's keep moving. The Colts on the road against the Titans. Fuck me, do I want the Titans? And I feel like I'm going to do it, and I feel like I'm going to regret it. Don't know that I want to, but I think I got to. Listen, I'm not here to tell you that Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts are fugazi. Not going to do that. They've had a great start to the season, beat the absolute fucking piss out of the Miami Dolphins. But let's be real. I hate to say this. It's just reality. They should not be 2-0. The Broncos got fucked, but they played well. I'll give them that. The Indianapolis Colts played well against a really tough defense. Some are saying one of the best in the NFL. That offense and Daniel Jones once again moved the ball at will, and I believe that is 2 games they did not punt. So whether they won or whether they lost, I don't care. My opinion of the Colts is like others' opinions of the Indianapolis Colts right now. They look really good. Daniel Jones is playing well. The offensive line hugging him on the sideline, Quentin Nelson and everything after that win. Good to see it. You know what I mean? Even though I'm not a Daniel Jones supporter, talent-wise, I've always maintained he seems like a good dude. His teammates, I've always heard like him. I got no issue with him having success. Steichen seems like a good coach. Jonathan Taylor, I think you guys, people have him for Offensive Player of the Year. Huge game last week. Huge. Defense playing better than I think some people expected, although Bo Nix had a much better game than he did week 1, and then the Broncos were moving the ball at will. Now you get a game outdoors. It's not so comfy cozy right now or this week for one Daniel Jones, okay? You're going to go on the road. You're in enemy territory. You're going to have loud fans. You're going to have the wind. You're going to have the sun. You're going to have the sky. It's not going to be as easy. I don't think this is where well, I shouldn't say this. I'm going to pay to find out if the Colts are really that team. There's a chance they are. Every year, there's always that fucking team that comes out of nowhere. Sometimes it's more than one team and surprises the shit out of you. I faded the Commanders 2 times last year in the first couple of weeks until I paid to find out. That's what I'm doing with the Colts. And the Colts, similar trend here to what the Commanders did last year. 2 games without punting. Could they be this year's Commanders? I don't know. But I think I have to take the Titans +4. And Cam Ward in this offense, not off to a hot start, but let's be honest. They played Denver in Denver to start the year, and then they played the Rams defense. About the hardest 1-2 start you can have for a rookie quarterback. So I like Lou Anarumo, defensive coordinator for the Colts this year. That unit could definitely improve. It would not shock me. I'm a big coordinator guy, and I like him, even though the Bengals defense was rat shit. I think that I'd do a little bit more with personnel. I'm going to have to take a shot here with the points with the Titans, especially now that I'm realizing a lot of people got burned taking them against the Rams. So total on this one's 43.5. Again, I got to tell you, I like the under, but even if the Titans can't win this one outright, I think it's a close game. So that's my pitch. We'll go back the other way now. We'll do 2-2 basically. Steak, what do you think about this game?
I'm going to take some shitty dogs this week. I don't know if this is going to be one. And I think it kind of a little bit goes back to how we were talking about baseball, like ride the hot guy. Like, who doesn't kind of believe a little bit that this Daniel Jones train is going to come crashing down, even though they've started 2-0? They have no turnovers and they have no punts. Like, I think everybody who watches football deep down believes this is going to come to a halting screech. Mm-hmm. Just to mention, halting screech. Oh my God.
That's funny.
That's the thing about being live. Sometimes you say really stupid shit.
That's great. Yeah, I like it.
Charvarius Ward, questionable. Tyler Warren, questionable. Josh Downs, questionable. Latu, questionable. A lot of injuries for the Colts. It's went from 3.5 to 4.5. With those injuries and the fact that you've only seen Daniel Jones on the Colts for 2 games, I don't think the spread's that crazy when you consider what the Rams spread was.
Sure.
I'm spooked off the Titans. I just need to see a little more from them before I think I put my money on them. So I'm leaving it alone. I liked your read on the under. I also found it interesting. Jonathan Taylor has 43 carries already this year for over 5 yards a carry. He's plus 380 to score twice in this game, which is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I kind of like him. I know this isn't prop.
He's catching passes too, by the way. Yeah, he's catching touchdowns.
Fucking man. And on Sunday, when we talk about prop talk, he'll be a name I bring
up. Yeah, Colts coach is better than Callahan. One of the biggest reasons, even though I like Cam Ward, that I could not get there with the Titans on a win totals, I'm just not a Brian Callahan guy. This is I'd rather take a shot in a sharp play like the Rams than I would Titans, I think. Okay. Daniel Jones underpassing at 211 keeps looking at me. I thought this was interesting. Not saying it's a true parallel, but the Colts might be the Saints from last year, 2-0, setting records on offense then. Or we said the same thing about the Vikings last year, and it didn't happen until week 18. 100%. That's what's going to happen. If you are betting the futures market,
those are both really good comments.
Exactly. This happens every year. If you are a sports bettor, I mean, the futures market is incredible. It's the most fun thing. You're going to tie up some capital, but you got to take some shots like this. You should, if you think the Colts are last year's Vikings, go all in on them. You got to go all in on them. Or if you think they're going to crash and burn, that's another way to do it. Too unsure right now. I don't have a strong opinion. Greg, Titans +4 at home.
So both you guys were big on the Titans going into this year. I'm not going to say this is a must-win game, but after this, they play 3 consecutive road games, and their next 5 are on the road.
Yeah, I can't call it a must-win. The only reason I say that is because they played the Broncos and the Rams. It's not like did anyone really, really confidently think the Titans are winning one of these first 2?
The last thing you want to be is 0-3 and then looking at 3 straight road games.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You know what I mean? Even going into the season.
Saying is the Titans win total bet was a rat shit wager.
If they don't win this game, right. And no, Snacks, come on, brother. You listened to me pretty well. I slurped Cam Ward all off season, and I told you I am not on the Titans because
I'm on the Titans, Snacks, if that matters to you.
Yeah. Go ahead, Greg.
No, I was just going to say if you're a believer in Cam Ward, this is a game to step up and believe in him because, like I said, their schedule just gets really, really difficult after this. It's their first divisional game. It's at home. I'm not a big believer in Callahan either, but you got to step up in this game and you got to be competitive. Like, granted, the Broncos, the score was close. The Broncos were winning that game the whole time. You were never worried about the Titans actually threatening. Same thing with the Rams. You got to at least play close football games and show that you can. And I think that's what the Titans have to do here. And I think that's what they do. I am a believer in Cam Ward. I might actually take him Offensive Rookie of the Year this week, because if I believe it's really going to have to happen this week.
So I'm gonna point something out here. Last week with this Rams Titans game, I didn't watch a lot of it, but I don't like that the Titans came out and went 3-and-out on back-to-back drives. Like, you got to start better at home. The Rams went up 7-0 quick. Then in the second quarter, the Titans put together 11 play, 48 yards, which is hilarious, drive for a field goal. They go down before the half. Titans 10 plays, 56 yards, touchdown, 10-10. Intercept Matt Stafford and kick a field goal. They had the lead in that game. 13-10. Really, going into the third quarter, this game was 20-16 Rams. And then the Titans shit their pants. They fumbled on the second play of their first drive in the fourth quarter. Then they went 3-and-out, and then they put a 12-play drive together to get a field goal. But I guess what I'm getting at is, like, they started to find a little bit of offense. It's not a lot. I mean, you're seeing these 12-play, 48-yard drives. That's not great. The Packers do that in 2 plays, but it got there. So I think if you're finding success with dinking and dunking, and hopefully you get the Colts shooting themselves in the foot or making some mistakes with their first road game, that's what you need for the Titans to cover this game. And I think that's what I'm going to be betting on. All right, next game. I got nothing in this one. The Packers on the road against the Cleveland Browns. I will hand this one off straight to you guys and just tell you that the total is 41.5. I think the Packers were minus 8.5. They're down to 7.5. I don't know if there's some injuries with Jaden Reed or
anybody else. He's not playing.
Oh, he's not out. He just had surgery. That's right. Yeah. I'm sorry. He's out. Golden is a guy people were talking about. Shout out Cornfields for that shit wager last week. I don't know if the Browns have any injuries, but their defense, again, this is the second game that the Browns outgained their opponent, and they lost. They're 0-2. And the Ravens put up 41 points, but the defense played their dicks off to the final snap. Greg, you and I were watching football, and every time we looked at the screen, someone on the Browns defense was making a good play. Wasn't a great game for Flacco in the revenge spot in Baltimore. I don't know. Maybe he's better at home. This is another square under that I think I like. Steak, you're great at sniffing out these weird games that nobody expects to go over, like the Saints-Niners last week. Great call. Haven't heard you say one yet. I don't know if maybe this is the one, but I got nothing in this one. What about you, Steak?
Nothing. I don't like the over.
Okay.
I like the Browns. And like I said, I am going to take some shitty underdogs this week, and we'll see how it goes. This is one of them I'm going to take. I haven't hated what I've seen from the Browns. I know that's kind of a crazy thing to say after they just lost 41-17. But there's just sometimes Lamar goes in that mode and there's nothing you can do. But honestly, I still am Browns defense respecter. And I'll say that even after a game where they gave up 41 points. So everyone knows I'm not just a guy who's going to say that after they held the Bengals and Joe Burrow to 17. I still think this Browns defense is solid. And this is a big way to open the year if you're the Packers. You play the Lions, and then you play the Commanders, who are in the NFC Championship, and you really got to show everything. I don't think you have to show that much to win this game against the Browns. I don't think you have to do that much. You just lost Jaden Reed for what I believe to be the season, and you have 2 offensive linemen pretty banged up. And I want to mention that Josh Jacobs is questionable, even though I think everybody thinks he's going to play. But, he's questionable. It's worth mentioning. And so I don't see any reason not to believe we could get a methodical game from the Packers. Long drives, field goals instead of touchdowns a few times, and it's closer than you think. I liked what I saw from Quinshad Judkins in his first game. He only had 10 carries, but I think he averaged 6 yards a carry. He definitely looks more explosive than I think Dylan Sampson and obviously Jerome Ford. And, I still think Joe Flacco's capable of scoring the ball and slinging it around. And I still think there's guys to get involved that will keep getting better. Cedric Tillman, Harold Fannin. And so, I think the Browns cover in this one, and I actually probably would roll with the square under. Like 2017 wouldn't shock me at all here.
Kiffin says, I'm with you, Steak. Snack says, this is the week we see upsets. I'll ride. Time to move on from Flacco and play the kids to see what you got. Yeah, that's certainly probably the narrative now after what we saw last week. No Cam Nicky, Vikings suck. That's not nice. Njoku, watching Flacco run from Parsons is going to be hilarious. Yeah, very true. Greg, anything in Browns, Packers?
I don't know if he's going to be my pick for our little pool, but to me, this is the Matthew Golden coming out game, and I think he scores a touchdown here. It really has to be. With Reed out, they took a couple shots at him. They were close. They were close. And now you have 10 days to prepare. No one reads out. You got to feed your number one pick. And that's the play I'm going to make on this, because I could see the Browns covering. I also bet the Browns last week. That sucked. I don't want to be the guy that bets the Browns every week. Just don't want to do it, especially against one of the best teams in the AFC and now one of the best teams in the NFC. So laying off on that side of it. But I was a huge Matthew Golden guy going into this season. I got to put my money where my mouth is. I didn't like him last week, although I saw Corn do it, and Corn got me jacked up. You got 10 days to prepare now. That was a short week to get him more involved, right? Coming off of Sunday to Thursday, just really tough to really expand the playbook for him. Mm-hmm. Now you have to put him up there. And I think he has a touchdown. It's plus 230. So it's worth a half unit.
I like it. I agree with everything you said. And also that one to Golden in the end zone was easily Jordan Love's worst pass of the night against the Commanders.
Yeah, he just missed him. Missed him. Golden had him torched. So
sure. I'm not going to play the Matthew Golden game until he shows me something, but I respect
the Matthew Golden game, and then you'll play the Matthew Golden game.
No. I don't know if I'll ever play the Matthew Golden game. Okay. I don't like picking Packers receivers. It's you say it's whack-a-mole. It is. It's whack-a-mole. It's too fucking hard. Steak nailed it on Degenerate Hour with the guy with Dobbs. After we saw a big game from
we all nailed it.
Yeah, we all nailed it. Without Reed and Watson, it's going to get a little easier here. I just want to throw that out there. We're running.
What about Dontavian Wicks?
Yeah, Dontavian Wicks is wide receiver 3, and then you got Dobbs and Golden. But at least it's not like I kind of think is better friendly of a wide receiver room as it's ever going to be this week. But I love Wicks too. I do.
Yeah. No, listen, I get it. Makes sense. Good luck to you guys. Not going to be there for me. All right, here's a gross one. Falcons are on the road against Carolina. I don't know if I'm right or wrong with this. Let me see. I just pulled up the odds on Vegas Insider. This is what I thought I saw or heard. The Panthers -1.5. Now it's all the way up to the Falcons -5.5. I keep doing this. I thought I saw the Falcons -1.5, and then it got steamed up 4 points. Can anybody tell me if that's right or wrong? Because if the Falcons open -1.5 against the Panthers, that's kind of crazy.
It is.
And I don't know that I want to do it, but I think I'm going to do it. I think I got to play the Panthers here. Listen, I don't think the Falcons are that good, but I don't think they're bad. I do think there's a chance that the Panthers are just a really bad team. You got to give them a little credit for showing some fight and coming back into that game with the Cardinals. I mean, the Cardinals totally fell asleep, but come on, like a really, truly pathetic team would not do anything with those opportunities. Bro, they made it 27-22 and recovered an onside kick. What are you laughing about?
Just, Bryce Young is hilarious, man. He's only ever showed you anything on a football field when the game's completely out of reach or they've been eliminated from the fucking playoffs for 6 weeks. It just makes me laugh.
Yeah. After they held the Vikings down. No, because I'm not a JJ McCarthy believer.
You could not be a JJ McCarthy guy all you want, but they held Kevin O'Connell and his season opener at home to 9 points. It's really, really fucking impressive.
It is impressive, but I think Kevin O'Connell was also being a baby back bitch personally.
No doubt.
So he's got the training wheels on McCarthy, and the Falcons were all over it. So kudos to them, in a sense, yes. And you know what? They probably should have beat the Bucs in week 1.
Yeah.
So could be a 2-0 Falcons team. Penix is making enough plays. I love Bijan Robinson. Who doesn't love Bijan Robinson? I feel like the Panthers are a stupid play, but in the NFL, at least back in our days, in the glory days, You'd bet games like this, and that's how you made money. Shit's changed. It's been chalk. It's been favorites for the last 2 years. We just told you guys. Teams that are like even -4 or higher are covering at an insane rate and winning the game outright. So I'm not going to try to necessarily get cute and tell you that the Falcons are going to lose this game, but I do think maybe, I can't get it out of my head, the Panthers were still playing better late in the year at home. They almost beat the Bucs. They went into overtime. They almost beat the Chiefs. They did go on the road and bang with Philly a little bit, but I'm going to say you get a good Canales, Bryce Young, Ted McMillan, Chubba Hubbard game from the Panthers at home, buying them at a pretty good number after the money has been hammering the Falcons. And you know what? Maybe it's kind of a bad spot for Atlanta. You open up with a divisional opponent, the Bucs, grinded out game. Then you go on the road. You play in primetime in Minnesota. Brian Flores defense. Now you got to come on the road and play Carolina. Sounds easy, but I don't know that it is that easy. I'm going to take the Panthers with the points here. Steak or no? Did we? How many? Is it time to switch it up?
Go, Greg.
Greg.
We can go me because I don't have much here. I agree with everything you're saying on the Panthers. Looking at this line, it really should be them. I just don't want to spend my Sunday rooting for Bryce Young. I just don't want to do it.
Fair.
Like there's no reason to put that pain on myself this early in the season. It is the Panthers home opener. I think they'll be pretty fired up, but at the end of the day, I just don't want to be betting on this guy in week 3. It's too early for them to sneak up on somebody, I guess, especially with the Falcons already one divisional game down. These divisional games, matter more and more as the season goes on. So for me, this is a easy pass.
Do you think it's weird, Steak? We'll hand it off to you. Do you think it's weird the Falcons only open -1.5?
Yeah, I do.
You said you want to play some nasty spots. Are the Panthers one of them?
I really support you, and here's the problem. Here's the problem, man. I feel like 2 weeks into the year, I mean, did anyone nail the Panthers better than me?
No.
And that's the problem. So now I want to give some of this coin back, trying to bet on them because the line's sharp, but I know they suck.
Yeah, that's the problem. Deep down, know they're just terrible.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me about gambling is like I do think the Panthers might be the right play, but I can't think of any football reasons why.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really can't. There's one way that I think the Panthers could beat the Falcons this week. Literally just one. Well, two. One is Ted McMillan has shown flashes of being really fucking good at football. Like, really fucking good. Almost had a one-handed catch in the end zone against the Jags. Almost tore one up for 60 yards against the Cardinals last week. He looks fucking awesome. He's getting an insane amount of targets, and I think he's going to enter into a conversation one of these games, which is interesting considering that fact that Travis Hunter's been meh and Ashton Genty's look bad, but that doesn't matter. I like Ted McMillan a lot. So if he goes nuts, I could see that happening. Or they somehow figure out how to shut down Bijan, who is minus 230 to score and plus 250 to score 2 touchdowns. But damn, dude, it just feels like one of those games. Like you bet, you think you're on the sharp or contrarian side, and boom, it's 14-0 fucking Falcons with 7 minutes left in the first quarter. Bijan already has a 70-yard touchdown rush, and you're like, what the fuck did I just do?
Yeah.
When is the Drake London coming out game going to happen?
That should happen here too.
It really should. You're making me think the over.
Yeah, no AJ Terrell. Yeah. See,
no AJ Terrell.
The Ted McMillan game, I could be buying into that.
What about Hunter Renfrow? He had a nice game, didn't he? He's like they kind of upgraded or the Adam Thielen with a little bit younger Adam Thielen.
Yeah. I mean, it's just because Xavier Leggett is so bad.
Yeah. Okay. We can move on from this one, but yeah, I might have to get there with the Panthers. All right, 2 more 1 o'clock games, 11:22. Tempo and pace feels pretty good. Thank you everybody for hanging out. All right, your Vikings against the Bengals.
Hey, piss break real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. I love.
Wow, Greg, first one for a piss break. Cash it plus 25.
Yeah, thank you.
That was plus 2,500, dude. That was a long shot. Holy fuck.
You won't hear anything about it from the fucking haters either. Like, oh, Degen hasn't had to take a piss. Yeah, I had a fucking cold brew this morning and 1 full cup of water. This is my second one. Thank you very much. Now 1 piss.
Yeah, that's Greg's right. Pissing. Everyone drop carrots and celery in the chat. Drop some carrots.
Yeah, I'll never forget when I saw Greg eat a raw carrot. He didn't even peel it. I'm like, you don't peel your carrots. He's like, no, like fucking Bugs Bunny. Anyways, Steak, I love the Vikings in this game. And it has nothing to do with Jake Browning. It has nothing to do with Carson Wentz. You know what it has to do with? I think the Minnesota Vikings offense is going to run circles around this Cincinnati Bengals defense with whoever is playing quarterback. That's what I think. I give the Bengals defense credit, I've said this, for stopping the run on the road against Cleveland. They held them to like 2.4 yards of rush. But what do we know about this Cleveland Browns running back room? It's not good. Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson. So I am going to stop talking about that. The Jags got whatever they wanted against the Bengals all day. They really did. They fucking blew it all day. 1st and 10 turned into 2nd and 2 every time you looked up at that TV. This is the Jordan Mason game. I tried to make a big push to get Jordan Mason in fantasy football. I think he's going to have a huge week. I think the Vikings are going to play a nice, slow, methodical game, a conservative game script, and just move the ball at will. That's really what they should do. They should dominate the time of possession. Dominate. And frankly, Jake Browning, sure. Seasoned veteran, seasoned backup quarterback, has won some games, has played on the road, has played in primetime. I'm not saying he's total shit, but the Vikings defense coming off a loss in that stadium, looking for their first home win, that's not a good spot for them or Jake Browning. I love the Vikings here, -3. I like both. I like the Commanders and the Vikings. They're probably not both going to come through, but I really like the Vikings in this game. Greg?
So I missed everything you said, but
that's all right.
It's crazy to me that Carson Wentz is getting points. That's crazy to me. I know he's playing
giving points,
giving points, taking points. I thought you were giving them. Anyway, -3 is a lot of respect to get behind Carson Wentz. And that just tells you that everything else the Vikings has is great. And you can just drop in another quarterback and be serviceable, right? I do think somebody in the chat said it. Jordan Mason is going to get fed. Like that's the look for me, is his over attempts. Because I think they're just going to feed him and feed him and feed him. Because you're going to see the more times you give Wentz to drop back and make a play, the better chance he makes a boneheaded play and fumbles or throws an interception. So you just want to limit that for him. And I think it just makes perfect sense to feed Mason. And I don't see any reason why their run game would struggle, right? You just saw ETN tear him up. The Browns had success against them. Like, this Bengals D is just not anything special. So I think the Vikings know where they're at. I think they're going to Ireland next week. Like we said, this is just a grinded out type game and get out of there with a win. But just -3 is absolutely insane to me with Carson Wentz.
It is Carson Wentz, but it's also Jake Browning. So it's like, and the Vikings have one of the best home field advantages in football.
But do you remember Carson Wentz's last start last year for the Chiefs?
He lost 30-0 to the Broncos.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
but
that was also a game they didn't need to win.
For sure, but it was a performance.
You could have put up a garbage time touchdown, Carson, and just I love Carson Wentz, by the way. The year I won fantasy, Degen, that was Carson Wentz was my guy until he got hurt. So I wanted to believe in him until the last possible second, and that last possible second was week 18 of last year.
Interesting. Okay. Steak, what do you think about your Vikings this year? Do you co-sign me hammering them?
Dude, no, I don't. I don't co-sign you hammering. This fucking guy, Jake Browning, has a vendetta against the Vikings. You saw the thing last year. Should have never fucking cut me. He diced us up. But here's a couple spots I want to talk about. I think we've talked about the side enough. So let me ask you, what do you think Jamar Chase's receiving prop is, both of you? Yards.
Like probably 94.5.
And I was going to guess 92.
Okay, it's 69.5. Do you guys want to guess? Yeah. Do you guys want to guess what Justin Jefferson's is now that you know Jamar Chase's is 69.5?
80.5.
45.5. I went the other direction.
70.5. And I think it's pretty incredible that Justin Jefferson has a higher receiving line than Jamar Chase, given the fact that Jamar Chase.
To be fair, the Bengals have a much better wide receiver too.
They have a much better wide receiver too, but no one really feels like having a good wide receiver too hurts Jamar Chase. He won the Triple Crown last year, and then he had 160 yards receiving, and he didn't miss a step at all when Jake Browning came in. And meanwhile, Justin Jefferson's about to play his first game ever with Carson Wentz, and he has a higher receiving line than Jamar Chase. I find that very, very weird. I also want to mention, you already talked about him, but Jordan Mason has a higher rushing line than Chase Brown. And that's less crazy. That's less crazy. But I actually think Justin Jefferson having a higher receiving line than Jamar Chase is insanity in his first game with Carson Wentz.
Here are the splits. Looks like people like all I fucking hear all week. You know what? I think I'm ready to take a fucking stand. I think I'm ready to take a stand. I think I'm ready to put a fork in the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
What's your schedule? Yeah. So they go.
Do you want to thank me for not letting you take their alternate win total last week when they were losing?
You want to put a fork in the Cincinnati Bengals after they lost Joe Burrow for 3 months? Brave stand. Good job. Everyone clap it up for Degen. He's so brave.
Whoa. You're crazy. Everybody's talking about taking them to make the playoffs because Jake Browning is pretty good. You're nuts. Nobody's talking about fading the Bengals.
This is like the least bold take maybe ever.
You're out of your mind. Nobody's talking about fading the Bengals. People like Jake Browning. I've heard it for the past 2 days.
Bro, you want to put a fork in the Bengals after they lost Joe Burrow for 4 months. Everybody's putting a fork in them.
No, they're not, dude. Okay, I'll send you fucking clips, as many as I can find. I probably heard 3 different people.
Please don't do that.
So real quick, here's Snake's point.
I'll send you equal amount of clips about Tyrod Taylor. If you do that, I send you Tyrod Taylor clips.
You're talking about Tyrod Taylor in the short term in just 1 week. You're not talking about long term.
I'm just saying people like Tyrod Taylor as much as they like Jake Browning. Go ahead, Greg.
No, they don't.
My point, and I think this is a point Steak is trying to make, if you look at the Bengals' odds to make the playoffs, last week I'm going to guess they were plus 110. Obviously. Now they're probably plus 600, and that's when you're sticking a fork in them. Well, so I understand your point of people do like Browning. Good. I'm not really a Browning believer. He's got everything around him to succeed offensively. The defense is another story, but I think that's Steak's point is now you're sticking a fork in them. The fork's already in them.
Not in the your average person's eyes. They aren't. No, I'm just
your average person, or you get some people who are getting cute out there. I think you're focusing on the people getting cute. Your average person is not betting the Bengals to make the playoffs.
Snacks is going crazy, telling me I'm off 17 times. Listen, I'll pull up a clip from you from multiple people talking about how the Bengals, obviously Joe Burrow's injury is devastating, but Jake Browning is not that bad of a backup.
No, he's not that bad of a backup. He's not.
He's not.
Okay. But let me just explain. Nobody is saying the Bengals season is over. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nobody is saying that. Find me a person who's saying the Bengals season is over.
Because it's not even worth talking about. Everyone knows it's already over.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Dude.
You're finding the key guys who are getting cute.
Best case scenario here. What's the best case scenario? A wild card appearance?
Okay, so hold on. You're telling me a team whose season is over has what?
This is the perfect way to put it. It goes without saying. Of course their season's over. They lost Joe Burrow. They're the worst defense in the league, and they lost Joe Burrow. Everyone knows their season is over.
The Cincinnati Bengals have better odds to make the playoffs than the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Houston Texans, the New England Patriots, and the Seattle Seahawks. Are their seasons over?
Sounds
you guys are way off here. You're way off. Tell me.
What are those?
Snacks, if they're so fucking cooked, go fucking hammer them to miss the playoffs at minus 160. And apparently you're in line.
Credit. I did not expect them to be plus 130.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you. I understand that. I don't know why you guys think I'm over here trying to fucking act like I know it all. I don't. I'm just baffled that you think it is common knowledge and everybody agrees the Bengals are done. People like Jake Browning. And they have Jamar Chase, they have T. Higgins, they have Chase Brown. They have weapons. What?
They're 2-0. You said they have better odds to make the playoffs at 2-0 than a bunch of teams that are 1-1.
Yes. But their season's over. I thought their starting quarterback got hurt.
It is early to say one game.
Their season is over. Their season is over.
Then why are they plus 130 to make the playoffs? They are right behind the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, I'll give you that. It's interesting, but I'm just wondering, what do you think the best case scenario is? That's the best case scenario, right? They make it to a wild card spot.
You just said their season is over.
Yes, it is.
So your best case is not making it to a wild card spot if you think a team's season is over. Their best case would be winning 6 games.
They could go 6-9 and make a wild card spot.
That's 15
they
games.
Could go 6-9 and make a wild card spot.
Okay, so they could be 8-9 and make a wild card.
They could. It's possible.
Okay, so I just want to get this just straight. A team's season is over who's plus 130 to make the playoffs, better than the Pittsburgh Steelers, Houston Texans, New England Patriots, and Minnesota Vikings.
It's a valid argument.
So the Viking season's over.
DJ,
it probably is. It probably is.
Well, listen. All I got to tell you is this. I'm not saying either of us are right or wrong. I'm just saying you can't act like it is black and white of everybody thinks the Bengals season's over. I promise you.
Okay, but it is black and white to say put a fork in the Bengals the week Joe Burrow got hurt. That's the point we're trying to make. It's not like a brave take to say put a fork in the Bengals when Joe Burrow gets hurt.
I'm not even trying to be brave though, is the point. Okay. But it's
You're
not
saying more so. I think it would have been better if you phrase it that you are selling the Jake Browning hype.
Okay. Don't you think? Okay. Yes.
Do you
think it's kind of the same as what I'm?
You worded it funny, saying put a fork in the Bengals after Joe Burrow gets injured. That's all I'm saying. We don't have to spend any more time on it. Like you're fading the Jake Browning hype. I understand that. That point I would have an easier time getting to.
It's hilarious that you guys need semantics for this. Now Snacks is getting hard on. And I did tweet, Greg was right next to me, the screenshot of their win total under right before the fucking injury, which I think is hilarious. What are you going to say, Greg?
No. I was just telling you not to do that because you also bet the Bengals to win that game.
Yes. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Thank you very much for doing that. But also I'd probably be in a great spot if I did. I'm thinking back what Steak was saying when he was talking about how much better can the Bengals actually be with how good Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase were. I think the offensive line and the defense is that bad. I don't think it matters.
It is.
And nobody thinks the Bengals are done. They're 2-0. People like Jake Browning, and they have better odds to make the playoffs than the Steelers, Texans, Patriots, Seahawks, and Minnesota Vikings. So, Snacks, go put your biggest bet you've ever made on the Bengals to miss the playoffs minus 160 if you think it is that commonplace. But I'm letting you know right now, I'll probably be right there with you. Go ahead, Steak.
So it's after all this Snacks and Degen collab, I got nothing else. I think ultimately what you ended up saying made sense.
Okay. Their schedule is brutal.
You took the scenic route.
I took the scenic route. Yeah. The schedule for them after this is brutal. At Denver, versus the Lions, at Green Bay, Steelers. That's tough. And they end the season with Buffalo, Baltimore. Yikes. Okay. That's going to be brutal for Jake Browning. Let's keep moving. Bucks and Jets. I think we differ on this one. I think this is a really bad spot for the Bucks. Really bad. You saw Baker Mayfield limping around. He played his fucking dick off these last 2 games, and he didn't even play great either game. But it is really, really, really hard to play that well when you've got your offensive line as banged up as it is, and you're going against these defensive fronts. I mean, there's a chance that the Falcons, they did what they needed to do. They addressed their defensive pass rush, and it looks really good. James Pierce Jr. has been awesome. And then Danielle Hunter and Will Henderson were unbelievable. But now you got fucking Tristan Wirfs is out. Their right tackle is out. Cody Mock, their guard, is out. I mean, these are some of the better offensive linemen in the entire NFL. This is brutal for the Bucs. On the flip side, their defensive tackle, Kalijah Cansey, he's one of their better defensive players. He's a dog on that defensive line. That's full of dogs. Sucks to get him out. Brutal injuries because the way things are shaping up for the Bucs, they're the team of destiny. Shit's either going to go really right for them or really wrong for them. They're getting the bounces so far, starting 2-0, but these injuries suck the fucking life out of that momentum. I like the Jets. And I like Tyrod Taylor. I think my under 4.5 all win total for the Jets is in more jeopardy with him at quarterback than Justin Fields. I think the real Justin Fields is who we saw week 2, not what we saw against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So them with 7 points on the road against Tampa, it's not even so much about betting the Jets. It's about fading the Bucs. I think it's a really bad spot for the Bucs. Greg, what do you think?
I agree with you on it being a bad spot for the Bucs, but I do not agree with you in any way, shape, or form that Tyrod Taylor is who you think he is. I think at his best, Tyrod Taylor is who Justin Fields was last week. This is a guy who, 5 or 6 years ago was fine as a backup.
I think you guys are kind of sleeping on Tyrod Taylor personally.
I don't what has he ever done that makes you think he's going to be good years past his prime?
Let me see if I can find it for you.
Well, I can already tell you're not going to find anything. Tyrod Taylor hasn't done dick on a football field since 2017.
Like, you bet him to lead the league in passing 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I was like, that's one of the worst bets I've ever seen. You're like, you don't understand. This guy's got it. And I was like, this guy's terrible. And then he was terrible, and you still believe.
Unfortunately,
I think 2018 for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Okay. 7 years ago.
2017 to be correct. It's been 8 seasons since he's done literally anything on a football season. He has 14 touchdown passes in 8 years and about 12 interceptions. He's done literally nothing. I don't know what it is about Tyrod Taylor. Seems like a pretty nice guy and a good teammate. And he does get in there and look calm and doesn't make like idiotic backup throws. So you think like this is a good backup quarterback. He's not. He's just not. Tyrod Taylor is a pretty bad quarterback, and he's 36 years old. And I just not buying it. I've seen a lot of Tyrod Taylor love +7 this week, and I'm just not buying it. The Jets' strength is running the football. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers shut down Bijan Robinson. The only big play he had was literally lined up at wide receiver. He averaged like 2 yards a carry, and they're calling this guy the best player in the NFL. And I just don't see how the Jets offense has any success, even with taking out Kalijah Kancey, which does suck, and losing your guard sucks. The injuries for the Bucs this year are insane. But I have no problem laying the 7 with the Bucs here at home against Tyrod Taylor, who literally hasn't done anything on a football field since 2017. And I like Bucs, man. I'm sorry.
So in 2023, Tyrod Taylor threw for 1,300 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
He came in at Buffalo. I don't know if you guys remember this.
Where was he on the Giants that year?
Yep.
Yeah.
And he almost beat the Buffalo Bills. That's the first week that he stepped in, October 15th. They lost 14-9. He was 24-36 for 200 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Then he beat the Washington Commanders 14-7. He had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, passed for 279 yards. This is in 2023, by the way. And then later in the year,
that big game where he scored 9 points and didn't throw any touchdowns or interceptions, that's huge. Yeah, if that's the first thing you're bringing up, I don't think you got much left in the chamber.
He played the Rams. They lost 26-25. He was 27-41, 319 yards, a touchdown and interception. And then he beat the Eagles in the final week, 27-10, 23-32, 297 yards, a touchdown and interception. I just don't think I think there's a little bit of context missing when you just look back and you say he hasn't done anything in 8 years. He played 5 football games 2 years ago.
Yeah, he played 5 football games and he had 5 touchdowns. And he scored under 20 points in 3 of those 5 games. Anybody can do that. Any backup, Mac Jones is doing that in his sleep. Any of these backups is doing it.
Okay. All right. I think Tyrod Taylor is a competent quarterback. That's what I think. I don't necessarily think he's a backup for a reason. Don't get me wrong. But there's a drop off when you go from a starter to a backup. I don't think the drop off is that significant at all from Justin Fields to Tyrod Taylor. And you saw it when they went from Daniel Jones to Tyrod Taylor with the Giants. They were still hanging with the Rams. They hung with the Bills. They lost another game in overtime. Like they can still play football. So I think 7 points with Tyrod Taylor in a bad spot for Tampa is my look. You do not, because you're fading the Tyrod Taylor love.
Well, yeah, I'm also buying into the Bucs' biggest strength being run defense, and
right,
he's going to.
Yeah, if they shut down the run, he's going to make some plays, and that's a problem.
Back-to-back road games, short week, and Kancey is out. Doesn't concern you?
No, does not.
It's a no play for me, to be clear. I'm not on the Bucs.
Yeah,
Steak might be different.
But I think the Bucs are going to feel great going home after 2 fucking battles. And I think it's a big game for the Bucs.
And you saw it. You're the biggest Baker slurper out here, but he's not a guy who's going to take a game off just because they had 2 road games and this is a sleepy spot.
No, he's getting MVP love. They're giving this guy MVP love.
Well. Just to be clear, it's not about necessarily taking a game off, but it's
sleepy.
Bad spot. But your logic isn't that great considering the Bucs literally just did this last year after they beat the Detroit Lions. They came home in week 3 and got their ass kicked by the Denver Broncos. Like kicked. I think they lost.
Denver Broncos a little different.
Sure, absolutely. They are a little different. That's why I don't think the Denver Broncos beat the Bucs by 20. I don't think the Jets are going to beat the Bucs by 20. I don't even know if the Jets are going to win. I just think they're going to hang. I think they're going to hang. I think they're going to be annoying. I think Tyrod Taylor is going to make those first down conversions on like 3rd and 6, keep the Bucs defense off the field.
I don't hate that look because who wants to play the Jets after how they just looked with a backup quarterback now?
Well, Steak is saying apparently a lot of people do because they like Tyrod Taylor.
They see this as a quarterback upgrade, and look what's happening to the Bucs. They even said in the chat, Ibuka's banged up too. The whole team is hurt. So I don't think anyone's lining up to bet the Bucs here. I'll pull up the picket splits. Let's see. I'm sure I'm a little wrong because favorites always get the love.
Well,
it is.
The nobody thinks the Bucs are going to lose. How about that? And it's so funny. I had this guy Andrew, who DMs me every now and then. He said, "I'm looking to use the Bucs this week for the Jets in my survivor pool. What is your confidence in the Bucs to beat the Jets without Justin Fields?" So
fair.
It's going to be a survivor play. It's going to be a prime money line parlay, and then I'll pull up the picket splits right now. But for what it's worth, I'm not even trying to say this is a contrarian play. Just so we're clear. Moneyline Bucks, spread Jets. So for this, Steak is right. People are comfortable fading the injuries and taking the points with the Jets. Also, I kind of liked it because people just got burned with the Jets. Everybody was touting their fucking 8.
It was a GRP model.
Yeah, the Jets were 8. They closed 5.5, and they lost by fucking 4 touchdowns. So, or 20 points, whatever it was. We can move on, but I do strongly lean the Jets here. And again, another fucking squarish under that I like. Okay, 4:00 slate. Some good games here. Well, sort of. Broncos and Chargers. Chargers are -3. What are you doing that hand gesture for, Greg?
I get some thoughts.
Okay. I'll make this one quick. I mean, I know I do a lot of yapping. I'll just set the stage for you. Broncos are +3 on the road. Total in this one is 45.5. I'm just going to shoot you straight up. I like the Broncos here. I'm wondering if this is the right line. It feels like we're making a big adjustment and shifting a lot of favoritism to the Chargers with how good they've looked in the first 2 weeks of the season. Dare I say the Chiefs might be pretty bad? Well, I shouldn't say pretty bad. Not very good. And the Raiders might be kind of poopy. I'm done trying to get cute fading the Chargers. Like, I'm with Justin Herbert. I really am. I think the bet on him to win the MVP is actually a good bet. I don't care what number you got either. 10-1, 8-1, doesn't matter. Harbaugh's the man. Johnston revival is fucking great. Ladd hasn't even really had a coming out party. The tandem of running backs is solid. I don't know that I want to bet on any of their props because you don't know which one's going to show up. I'm not a big Hampton guy. And you got Derwin James out there who I fucking love. And Harbaugh's like, he's the best safety who's ever played in the NFL. Obviously, that's exaggeration. But I like the Broncos off of that loss against the Colts in a weird way. Tough spot for them. Back-to-back road games. But I think for the most part, I like how the offense performed and played well. The only thing that's keeping me off is I want to remember what I told myself before the season started. Broncos are my number 1 regression team. So why do I want to keep putting money on a team who I think is going to regress? Steak, we'll start with you here. What do you think about the Chargers?
If I would have told you at the beginning of the year when we were talking about the Chargers that they were going to lose their starting left tackle to injury, who's one of the best left tackles in the league. Mm-hmm. Trey Harris, the rookie they drafted, was going to be completely uninvolved. I literally don't know if he has a catch. Vlad McConkey was going to be super mediocre, and Amarian Hampton, the running back they drafted in the first round, I don't think has even rushed for 50 yards yet, and Najee Harris wasn't even going to play. Wouldn't you think that the Chargers were 0-2 if I told you all that stuff? I just think you got to like almost everything about the Chargers, considering the fact that Omarion Hampton is going to get better. Ladd McConkey is going to show up, but Quentin Johnston looks amazing, and Keenan Allen still looks like he's got it, and Justin Herbert looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. And I know, I've been one of the number 1 people to remind people that Justin Herbert does this and then will disappear when it matters. He still doesn't have a playoff win. He has one of the worst playoff chokes of all time against the Jags, and he has one of the most dog shit showings I've ever seen against the Texans last year. But right now, he looks fucking amazing. And I think what Budman said is kind of accurate. Like, I still don't think anyone is anywhere near close to giving up on the Broncos. I haven't loved what I've seen from Bo Nix. He looked a lot better last week than he did week 1, but we're all three, I think. No, sorry. Greg doesn't agree, but the two of us agree they're regression candidates. And I just like the Chargers, man. I like the Chargers. I actually think the Chargers keep getting better. Like, I think the Chargers have a ton to improve on, and I like it happening in this game, honestly.
Greg?
So this line is a little bit weird. And I don't know where you're seeing 3 at, because I'm seeing 2.5 on DraftKings and FanDuel. And that 2.5 home favorite, in my opinion, is a little bit trappy. But let's just play.
You're right. Yeah, my bad. You're right.
And if the Broncos win that game and there's not that penalty at the end, this line's not weird to me at all. So I think thinking the line is weird is a little bit of an overreaction, just that they got the loss when they should have won. Because if both teams are 2-0, I don't think it's surprising at all that the Chargers are 2.5 here. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction to the Broncos just dropping that game. I am a Broncos guy. They've got to figure out their defense. There's no reason Daniel Jones should look like that against you. Mm-hmm. The reason I like the Broncos more, that neither of you guys, or Degen, you didn't mention because Steak, you're not on them, is they lost both games to the Chargers last year. And if you really want to make a name for yourself in the AFC West, this is a game you got to win. So I do like that it's early. I do like that they have their taste in the mouth of losing back-to-back. I do like that they just lost a game that they shouldn't. They're probably pissed off. The defense has got to be a little more fired up. Hopefully that gets them to turn it around, or start the turnaround at least. But for me, it's Broncos or nothing. I just have a tough time going back to them after what happened last week.
I'll say one more thing too. And I really do think Harbaugh's a great coach.
I had a quick corp call.
Yeah, go ahead. Steak, I don't know how you feel about this, but I wonder too, with the, I'm trying to say this, but teams that open up at home with hype concern me. And we saw it with the Patriots in their home opener. Team with a lot of hype. They kind of fall flat. I'm just wondering now, like, the Chargers got to really be feeling themselves. And I'm not saying it can't turn into something, because it definitely can, but it kind of sucks that you have to open your season at home with all these new expectations. Everybody's talking about you now. People really like the Chargers. Like I just said, someone took them to be the 1 seed. You're on Herbert MVP. And now you got a pissed off divisional opponent coming in with a nasty defense and a good offensive line. Like, I just don't like, this is a bad spot to play the Broncos, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I kind of want to say the Chargers can't feel themselves too much after a 2-0 start, because the Chargers are good in the regular season all the time. They were good in the regular season with Brandon Staley. The problem is finishing for them. And so, like, you melt down to the Jags in the playoffs, you lose 35-11 to the Texans. I would assume, and I think it's a better, like, I would take Harbaugh over Sean Payton just about any day of the week.
Me too.
And I would assume all the chatter amongst the Chargers is this doesn't mean fucking shit. Kind of like how I feel about the Ravens. I mentioned it. Like, the Ravens, the regular season doesn't fucking mean anything this year. You have to win a playoff game. Justin Herbert, I'm sorry, the Ravens need to get to the Super Bowl, but the Chargers have to win a playoff game. Justin Herbert has to win a playoff game this year. So I hope that my thought process is just calm, cool, and collected, just fucking relaxing and staying chill if you're the Chargers, but you're not getting overly excited about being 2-0. I'm sure it was really fun to beat the Chiefs in Brazil, but yeah, I like everything I've seen from the Chargers.
Okay. Seahawks 7.5 at home against the Saints.
Yeah.
Talk about nasty dogs.
Yeah. How much you want to say though? Like, how you want to bet the Saints? I think the Saints covered. No, Saints didn't cover against the Niners, but Saints are in 1-score games, both these games.
Yep.
I think what?
I think it's a tough spot for the Saints.
I think it's a tough spot for the Saints too. And Spencer Rattler doesn't have a turnover yet. I'm not buying that. All of a sudden, he's got rid of the turnover problem. Yeah. Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker are both -180 to score, which is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know, man. As a guy who does not really like the Seahawks, I can't sit here and tell you that I wouldn't be anything short of shocked if the Saints pull this off.
Oh, really?
I would be shocked if the Saints pull this off.
Oh, you would be shocked. Yeah. Okay.
I think the Saints might be due to just get absolutely blown out.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, it's really impressive. They hung with the Cardinals and they hung with the Niners, even though Mac Jones was playing. They got to go to Seattle.
Mac Jones played, I shouldn't say great, but I think he had 300 yards passing.
No, yeah. No, he did good. But I mean, like, still, you could always kind of use that excuse of, oh, they had a backup quarterback. Yeah, I don't know. I can't get cute and fade the Seahawks here. Be interesting to see if one of these survivor teams go down and who it's going to be, but I can't.
One will, that I guarantee you. At least one will. I think multiple will. Let's because we have 7 minutes, and I know that I believe your best bet is the Bears. Should we move right there?
That's where I'm going next.
Cool, perfect.
Yeah, Bears Cowboys. I just have this weird feeling. And it kind of came to me when I was hearing GRP talk about how he's got the Bears under division wins, which is looking great, under 2.5 division wins. It would kind of make sense to me. And now we're seeing this Ryan Poles clip that I'm going to keep retweeting. I'm never going to let him let that one go. That he's going to give take the NFC North and never give it back. I believe they're 3-17 or 3-18 since he said that. It just would be funny to me if the Bears got their ass kicked by the Vikings, the Packers, the Lions, and then look like a different team outside of the division. I'm not saying that means they're going to go 11-6, but I think the Bears can beat a team like the Cowboys. And this is coming from someone who likes Dak and likes his Cowboys offense, but that defense is bad. That defense is a problem. So you go from playing the Eagles on the road to the Giants at home. You start the year with 2 divisional opponents. Not easy. I know the Giants aren't very good, but the Cowboys aren't very good. Not easy to play two divisional opponents. Now you go on the road to Chicago against an 0-2 Chicago Bears. This is one of those I like, where an 0-2 team against a 1-1 following that trend. I like the Bears. And is there an element of being contrarian here? I don't know. Maybe. Do I think everybody's going to be on the Bears? Some people are already telling me that all the sharps are on them, that it's the pro play. I don't know if that's the case, but fuck it. I might line up and join them. I think I like the Bears. I've been thinking about it all week. The Bears might be my play here. So, and you know what? I don't even think that the Cowboys struggle on offense because the Bears defense is rat shit. After what JJ did to him in the fourth quarter, this could be an over game. This could be a Caleb, not a coming out party, but Caleb Williams like, oh, fuck. That's the good Caleb Williams. This could be a 300 passing yard, 4 touchdown game. And you're going to say, oh, yeah, the timing similar to the fucking Bengals banter. Oh, of course you're going to say that after Russell Wilson just dropped 450 on their head. Sure. Sometimes shit makes sense. This could be one that makes sense for me. I like the Bears here. Steak?
I'm not going to give too much of a pitch. I agree with most of what you just said, and everybody knows how I feel about the Dallas Cowboys. I want to be clear because obviously I've now gotten the rep as a Dak hater, and I am a Dak hater, but I think what's really, really awful, because I don't think Dak by any means is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. I think Dallas has one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Yeah. So I think there's plenty of football reasons to believe that this could be a Caleb Williams bounce back game because Russell Wilson had a bounce back game against his team and no one thought that was possible. So I'm not fading Dak, and I'm sure Dak will have success against the Bears defense, but I don't see any reason this Bears offense can't move the ball against this horrible bottom 5 Cowboys defense.
Greg, anything on Bears Cowboys or should we move on?
No, I got something for you, buddy.
Okay. So then,
you're not going to be able to see it, but I'm going to hold this up.
Oh boy.
The map plays. There we go. Where I'm GRP right here. Can you see Bears week 3? I lost you guys. You scared me. So the reason I had this, and I'm not making an official map play because I think it's too early for that kind of stuff to take place, but the Cowboys open the season, divisional game. Now you get the Bears, which is a little bit of a weird one in Soldier Field. And then next week, the Cowboys got a Micah Parsons revenge game.
Oh, shit.
So yeah. I do like the Bears here. I think if Caleb Williams is going to do anything, he's got to do it against his Cowboys defense. And I do think people were writing them off a little bit early. That was just such a big game for the Lions. And honestly, the Bears easily could have won that game against the Vikings. They just kind of crumbled late. So I'm with you, man. I think it's the Bears here. I think it's a nasty spot, but I think it's a spot you got to play.
Yep. Okay. By the way, we are going to Owner's Box after this, so we'll raid them in a few minutes here when we're done. Thank you to everybody who's been hanging out. All right, San Francisco and the Cardinals. I'm seeing that the Niners are -2.5. I like the Cardinals.
I think there's some Brock Purdy news out there.
Really?
I thought I heard that he
I did see he was out 2 to 5 weeks after the injury, but this would just be 1 week. So I'll tell you what, even still, I like Kyler Murray as a road dog. And I just, for whatever reason, think the Cardinals always put up a really good fight on the road against the Niners. I took the Cardinals to be 5-0 after 5 weeks. I gotta stand on business. This is where I put my money where my mouth is. I think the Cardinals can win this game. And I like that they almost fell asleep, because you know what that told me? Then let the Panthers back in a weird way. They're looking ahead. They know they got the Niners on deck. They want this game. I think they're going to bring it. I like that defense. I like the offense enough. Still a bit, it's frustrating. Collar's a frustrating player. I like it enough. Total's 44.5. I like the Cardinals. Simple as that. Steak?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Cardinals win total over, and I like them to win this division. So now they're playing the Niners, and they maybe don't have to play Brock Purdy. George Kittle's on IR. Trent Williams is banged up. Jawan Jennings is banged up. Like, how could I say I don't like the Cardinals now?
Right.
It would just be flat out stupid. So yeah.
Right. Okay. Greg, anything?
I think you might have sold me with Kyler Murray as a little bit of a road dog here, and them looking ahead in that end of that Panthers game. I mean, if the Panthers are going to win one of these big games against the Niners or Seahawks or Rams, they're going to do it early.
You mean the Cardinals? I think you said the Panthers.
Oh, yeah, excuse me, Cardinals.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on it. I'm probably not going to play it, but I'm with you on it.
Okay. And then last game, guys, Sunday night, Giants, Chiefs. I want the Giants to win so bad. I really do. I can't believe this. I hate Russell Wilson, but I'm so sick of the Chiefs. The question is, are they really going to, in their home opener, are they really going to beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs? The Chiefs starting 0-3. Nobody sees that happening. I can't tell if everybody's going to be on a money line parlay with the Chiefs or if people say, fuck it, give me the Giants plus money with the points because they looked really good last week. I don't know. I don't ever read. Steak, we'll just finish with you.
Yeah, every game where the Chiefs are winless, it's going to be the most obvious bounce back the following week. I bet if you pulled up these picket splits, there's absolutely fucking nobody on the New York Giants. Absolutely nobody.
Let's see.
There can't be.
No.
Yeah.
G-Man! Come on, Steak. I'll fucking collab with you. You're on the Giants win total over. Let's say they get one.
I feel like I lost one. I lost an opportunity.
You did.
Week.
You did. That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. You should be 1-1 for sure.
I don't think the Giants can win here, which isn't a hot take, but I could see. I like those Sunday night dogs. I think they bark. What, they're 2-0 to start the year? Yep. Sorry, Steak.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
All right, guys. I'm putting the website in here right now. Go to thedegenerateweekly.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. You can do it for free. Thank you to everybody who pays. We'll put our best bets out in the newsletter tomorrow morning. Greg does a great job with the newsletters. Everyone, thank you. Steak, are you on Owner's Box with me?
Yeah, I am. I was going to say we should raid them.
Yeah, I'm going to rate them right now. Greg, great job. Thanks for hopping on. Steak, I'll see you guys. We got Degenerate Hour tonight, too, if you can make it, Greg. I think you said you'll be there early. So we will dive all the way in. I'll let you guys go. I'll see you guys in a little bit. We'll dive all the way in tonight, the Degenerate Hour on the Pickett YouTube channel. We'll see you guys at 7 o'clock Eastern. Yep, TNF tonight. Thank you very much. Cheers to you as well. Monday Night Football, we'll talk about that on Monday. We're going to go over to Owner's Box. If you are still in Twitch, join the raid. Join the raid. Owner's Box Sports. Bang. Join the raid. Go in. We're going to go shoot the shit with our favorite Canadians and maybe talk some more football. Maybe we'll be a little repetitive. Maybe we won't. I don't know. You never know. You never know what you're going to get. All right. Have a great day, guys. Good luck on all your wagers if you're still betting on baseball. Bills, Dolphins tonight on Pickett. 7 o'clock. We'll see you there with a cocktail in hand. Have a great day. Good luck on all your wagers. Peace.